Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're the place that takes, well, sometimes confusing raw sources and tries to pull out the useful stuff. And today, we have a really interesting one. The source is just an audio file, but listen to this title. Real UFO Footage 2016, WikiLeaks UFO Footage. Video, unbelievable UFO footage.mp3.
Yeah, quite the title. Definitely designed to grab your attention.
Exactly, pure clickbait. But look, our job today isn't about chasing that sensationalism. We're actually going to dig into what's in the audio itself. And it's kind of a fascinating mix. You get these unexpected bits about real flight operations, space stuff, things that title doesn't even hint at.
Right, and that's our goal here, not proving or disproving anything based on a title. We're just going to impartially look at the information that's actually present in the recording. We'll break down these different parts, pilot chatter, mission control logs, into something understandable for you. It's really about diving into the raw data and seeing what's genuinely there.
And it's quite a journey, let me tell you. We start with a pilot seeing something he really can't explain.
Yeah.
Then we completely switch gears to, like, mission control trying to find a known space station.
A very known one,
Right.
yeah.
And then finally, we get a little window into some pretty complex science payloads on a shuttle mission.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get into it. All right, first up, the part that honestly hooked me straight away. It's this pilot reporting an object he just could not identify. You can sort of feel it in the audio. It sounds immediate, like real time, full of uncertainty.
It really does. It puts you right there.
Yeah.
So he reports getting a radar hit first, describes it as swinging
Right.
and appearing at 30 knots.
Okay, 30 knots.
Yeah.
That sounds really slow for flying, right? Especially up high.
Extremely slow, especially when he later mentions being around 17,000 feet. That's, standard airspace. And visually, he says it looked like a rock to me, just a very small black object.
Wow. A rock?
Yeah, and his immediate reaction is pretty blunt. I have no idea what it was. He even gives a warning, tells others to try to stay away from 17,000.
So he was concerned.
Definitely seems that way. And what's interesting is the first time he got the radar hit, the radar broke lock. So initially he thought maybe it's just a bad lock or potential chat, like, interference or a glitch.
Okay, that makes sense initially.
But then it showed up again. He says it was picked up 177, 3 miles off my nose. He saw it move, said it flew right over me. And then it was confirmed the object's stationary.
Stationary after flying over him.
That's the report. The radar readings then showed something between 30 and 60 maybe knots. Again, it's not perfectly clear. And its position changed significantly from that 17,000 feet area to 177, which might be a bearing or a different location reference. His final thought on it was pretty clear. It's not falling. I don't think it was a birdwatch.
Huh. So not a bird, not falling debris, just something unknown. What really gets me here is how raw this feels. It's not polished. It's just a professional pilot saying, I don't know what this is. It really makes you think about what unidentified actually means in practice, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's not some abstract concept here. It's a real-time report from someone trained to observe, encountering something outside their experience. It shows that even with training and technology, there are still things that can genuinely stump an observer.
Okay, so from that, complete unknown, let's switch scenes entirely. The audio shifts, and now we're hearing what sounds like mission control in Houston, maybe talking to astronauts, and they're looking for something very specific, very much known.
That's right. Completely different scenario. Here, the objective was clear. They were using the shuttle's payload bay cameras, hoping to catch a glimpse of the Russian spy station Mir. Mir was doing an on-orbit burn, basically firing its thrusters to adjust its path.
Okay, so they knew where it should be, roughly.
Exactly. They knew it was there. But spotting it was still, as they put it, difficult to pick Mir out from the stars as they pass behind us. Even though they had cameras pointed straight back behind the orbiter where the Mir is flying and about 850 nautical miles behind us, that's pretty far, but still, they knew the direction.
850 miles. Oh, yeah, no, okay, that's a distance.
And initially, no luck. The report was no joy from here story, and then we could not see it here either.
Huh. So even with cameras pointed the right way, nothing.
Right. They planned to wait for sunrise, hoping for better lighting conditions. And then, much later, get this, after 7 days, 13 hours, and 17 minutes of mission time.
Oh, wow, over a week into the mission.
Yeah. They finally report Mir became visible on the far left-hand side of the screen, about an inch from the bottom.
Just barely visible then.
Sounds like it. Described as a small flashing light in the center, about an inch from the left-hand side of the screen, slowly moving closer, and it has a very light flashing to it, but very faint.
A faint flashing light.
Yeah.
After all that searching.
And even then, there's this little bit of uncertainty. You hear comments like, we're not sure that that might be, and concluding with, we believe we were just able to spot the MIR spacecraft. Believe. Not, we definitely saw it.
That contrast is just fascinating. You go from a pilot baffled by something totally unknown
Yeah.
to a whole space crew with mission control support, struggling just to spot a known tracked object like Mir.
Exactly.
It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? If
Mhm.
finding something you know is out there is that hard, how much tougher is it to reliably identify something genuinely unexpected, especially just with, your eyes or even standard radar?
It highlights the sheer challenge of observation in these environments, whether it's the atmosphere or the vacuum of space. Visibility, distance, lighting, it all plays a huge role.
Okay, so we've had the unknown, the hard-to-find known. What's next? The audio then takes another turn getting into the really technical side of things. We start hearing about the space shuttle discovery and its scientific instruments, the payloads. This part shows you the day-to-day complexity of what these missions are actually doing up there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the operational side. The context given is they're currently receiving downlink from Discovery as it passes over the Pacific Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about the primary payload first, called Cirrus. It's part of a bigger thing called AFP 675.
AFP 675.
Air Force Program 675 sounds like a research package. And the good news for them was Cirrus was performing quite well. Apparently, there were some issues with tape recorders, but it had no impact on Cirrus. The payload community, so the scientists and engineers involved, were very happy with the data they've received. Cirrus was the main event, the primary payload on AFP 675.
Okay, so Cirrus is working great, but what about the recorder issues?
Right. The recorders were linked to the secondary payloads. The audio mentions a few. One is FAR UV. Its job is imaging and photometry of natural and man-made ultraviolet emissions. So looking at UV light.
Okay.
Then there's URA, the uniformly redundant array, that measures spectral and spatial characteristics of the Earth's horizon, basically studying the edge of the atmosphere.
Gotcha.
And finally, QUIMS, the quadrupole ion and neutral spectrometer. Its role was to determine and identify contamination for Cirrus.
So making sure the main experiment wasn't getting messed up by, stuff floating around the shuttle.
Exactly. Checking the local environment to ensure the Cirrus data was clean.
This is the real nuts and bolts, isn't it? Far from weird sightings. This is complex science. Instruments measuring UV light, the Earth's horizon, potential contamination. It's kind of humbling to hear about the detailed work going on, stuff we usually don't even think about. Makes you appreciate the engineering and science involved.
Absolutely. It's a reminder of the primary purpose of many of these missions: data collection, scientific research. And, it's worth mentioning briefly, this raw audio isn't all perfectly clean mission talk. There are bits of foreign speech, maybe some music fragments, just random chatter or exclamations mixed in.
Right, like any raw recording, I guess.
Exactly. Not everything is directly relevant or even clear. Our focus was just pulling out the understandable parts that tell these different stories: the pilot, Mir, the payloads.
Yeah. Good point. It's messy, like real life.
So when you step back, it's pretty interesting how this one audio file, labeled UFO footage, actually contains this whole spectrum. You've got a genuine, unexplained aerial report from a pilot. Then you have the documented difficulty of finding a known object in space. And finally, the detailed technical reality of space-based scientific instruments.
It's really not just one thing at all, is it?
Yeah,
That title is almost completely misleading compared to the actual content.
pretty much. The real insights are buried under that sensational headline.
And I think this whole exercise, this deep dive, it really underscores the challenge, but also maybe the excitement of sorting through raw info, that unbelievable footage the title promised. Well, it wasn't unbelievable in the way you might expect, but the insights we got about observation, reporting, the sheer difficulty of seeing things clearly, that was pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, and if you think about the bigger picture, it poses a really important question for all of us. We're swimming in information these days. How do we get better at telling the difference between, say, a genuine mystery, something truly unexplained, versus the inherent challenges of just seeing things accurately, even for experts, and then also recognizing the crucial, often quiet scientific work that's always happening.
That's a great point. How do we sift through it all? And maybe here's a final thought for you to chew on. In an age where we capture so much data, what does it actually mean for something to be truly unidentified? And how much is our understanding shaped, maybe even limited, by just how clear or more often, how unclear that first observation really was. Lots to think about there. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.